see everybody this morning. I trust you're doing well today. How are we doing? Look, look at Shayla over there. She got her hat on. Rhett's got his hat on. Curtis got his hat on. Carlene, there we go. Kim's got a gnome with her this morning. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. We got a young guy on with us today. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Is that Superman or Spider-Man? What you got over there, bro? That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you. Y'all see Mama this morning? I don't know if y'all can see Mama. She is literally wearing a Christmas tree. Come on now. She got a full-on Christmas tree this morning. Now, she's so hot downstairs, she can't stand it. You know what I mean? And I mean that in every form of that word, Cherie. You know what I'm saying? Okay? I mean hot in every form of that word. And then y'all got to check out our other co-host over here, Felicia. Y'all check out Felicia over here. She went yesterday and got this onesie, so she's dialed in as Frosty over there. These things are like wearing I don't know, like wool or Sherpas or something. Okay, so if we pass out, somebody just, Rhett, if I pass out, just take over the call, okay? All right? It's hot over here. It's hot over here. Hey, we're going to dive in and get started today. As we do, let's hear from a couple of you as we get started today. What's something you're grateful for this morning? What's something good that happened this week? Come on, talk to us. What do you got? Come on, hands up, hands up. What's something you're grateful for or something that happened good this week? David Fine, you kick us off, sir. Oh, you're on mute, buddy. We can see. There it is.
Hey.
There we go.
Good morning, everybody. What a difference a week makes. Last Monday, I could barely sit through the meeting. On a scale of 1 to 10, I was an 11 pain. Today, God's been so good to me. I'm maybe a 4. I was supposed to rest last week, but that wasn't in the plans. I picked up 2 new clients. I had 3 showings. I'm writing 2 contracts. And the whole point of me having that surgery this week or past week was I'm supposed to rest. So this old white-haired ho, ho, ho guy is here to tell you guys, no matter how bad things are, if you stick it out and you do what you're supposed to do, things are going to happen. And Dusty, with your permission, next year I'm thinking of getting a legal change in my name from David Fine to D Fine, if you will allow me to do so.
I'm all in, brother, and I'll get a t-shirt. We'll get a t-shirt, brother. Hey, man, it is so good to hear that you are feeling better this week. Hey, what a great testimony, right? Even in the middle, being on an 11 pain last week on the call, brother. Thank you for being on, Dave. We love you, man, and congratulations to some huge success this week. Great job. Great job. Y'all give it up for David. Come on, y'all clap for him. Come on. Who else we got this morning? What do we got? Anybody? Antoinette, go for it.
Happy marvelous Monday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing amazing. I just want to say something good. Last week I had the opportunity to serve at a senior center, and I think it was just a rewarding opportunity. And the staff, the seniors, they were so jolly and appreciative, and I just want to, that's my something good, because it brought me so much joy to see them smile and be so much grace. And they're going through their own stuff, but they remember how appreciative, how grateful they were for us to even come and spend a couple of hours with them. So even when we're in our worst moment, we have to always remember to just be grateful, because somebody else is have it worse than us. So we have to constantly remember to be grateful for every situation, even if it's bad or good.
That's right. Antoinette, well said. Well said. Hey, Antoinette, can you lean in and show everybody that awesome hat you got on too? Come on. What you got on over there? I can see it up on the roof of your car. You got, okay. She's dialed in over there. There we go. Antoinette, you made a great point this morning that team, you know, we've done gratitude before on the call where we've had you reach out to someone that's meant a lot to you, and you remember what that did in your heart, right? Immediately put our hearts and our minds and our spirits in a position of gratitude as we give gratitude for others, as we lean in to help other people. So let's remember that this season. There are a lot of people today, and maybe that's where you sit today, that are in a battle and in a struggle. Let's make sure that we remember that on a daily basis and lean in with folks. All right. A couple more this morning. Rhett Campbell, go for it, brother.
I'm very happy to say that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. we will close on our new house. So this is a new construction home. This has been well over a year in the making. We had to wait for the lot to become available, which took 10 months. Then we had to wait another 6 months for them to start. And then they started and they just now are finishing up. So we close tomorrow morning. We are super happy, very, very blessed. And we're excited that we get to spend Christmas morning there. So we're just so grateful.
Brother, that's so awesome. It's been so cool to walk alongside Rhett each and every day. I get the gift and honor of coaching him 101 and to see this whole thing take place, right? It's been, I think we talk about your house almost every other day, like, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? And it actually got pushed up, right? Hey, when does that happen, real estate agents? It never gets pushed up. It always gets pushed back. Now they pushed back for Rhett for like a year and a half, and then now we got it. So Rhett, congratulations, brother. We're excited for you. Couple more, Curtis, go for it.
I'm surprised my wife didn't get on and give her gratitude for our weekend. We had a great weekend. This is our 8th year helping the homeless in Osceola in Orange County. And we had such a great turnout, giving out, donating pajamas. We gathered pajamas for the kids. And it was such a great event this year. And we had a couple of agents come out and give us a hand as well. And it was just a great weekend. And I am so happy for Rhett too. That's a great thing. A great Christmas present, man. Great Christmas present to you and your family. So that is great. And one thing about gratitude that I wanted to share as well, there's a book called The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. And there's a part in there that talks about magic dust for everyone. And it says gratitude is powerful. And so whomever you direct gratitude's energy toward, that's where it goes. If you think of gratitude's energy looking like sprinkling magic dust, then when you express gratitude to another person in return for something you received from them, you are literally sprinkling them with magic.
Come on now. Well said, Curtis. I love that, man. I love that. And hey, a great job year over year, stepping in to help the homeless, right? What a difference maker that is. Y'all write that down today. Get some magic with people, okay? You and I have the gift and opportunity to do that each and every single day. Yes or no? Right? Gratitude's a choice. The way we communicate with other people's a choice. I promise you, if your day's not going the way you desire for it to go, if you'll lean in and help somebody else, if you'll lean in and give gratitude for somebody else, your day will immediately change. All right. Shayla, you wrap us up this morning. What do you got?
Good morning, everybody. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. I just want to say that I'm just grateful for life. I think that ever since you came to our office, I went back to journaling, and I'm just really grateful to be able to wake up every morning. We lost a very big name in real estate heard about Sarah Rocco, which I had met and came to our office, and such a beautiful, powerful soul. And that legacy that she leaves behind at such a young age of going, I'm always grateful for waking up in the morning, but it just hit a lot harder, and it's just something great to be grateful just for the wake up.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Shayla, that's a great way to look at it, right? If you get up in the morning and maybe you're doing your journaling and you're struggling a little bit about what you're grateful for, there are moments where we just got to pause and go, hey, I'm here today. I have the ability to think. I have the ability to write, which means I have the ability to change anything in my world, right? You and I have the opportunity, the gift today to live life. And here's what I firmly believe. I don't think we were called to just live life. I think we were called to live life to the full. And I want you to ask yourself today, what does that look like for you? How do you live life to the full on a daily basis, inside your four walls, outside your four walls? We have such a gift and an opportunity to do that. Also, as we talk about these encouraging words and people feeding the homeless and doing these other things to help other people, mentioning Sarah Rocco, who was that type of person, right? Just to lean in and help and share. I want you to remember today that one conversation may not change somebody's life, but one conversation can. Okay. And you and I have the ability to be able to have those conversations with people. It's what we get to do on a daily basis. So let's remember that today as we go from here and into this holiday season. And if you're struggling today, feeling down, number one, reach out, let us know so we can walk alongside you. Number two, reach out to somebody else and let them know how thankful you are for them, and it'll begin to change the way that you're feeling already. Okay. So, hey, we're going to dive in today. As we do, I want to give you a reminder at the end of the call today. Okay. We got a few prizes to give away because some of you have been out there. Well, a lot of you been out there adding people to our Facebook page, sharing our page. Mama, where are we almost to like 3,000 people or something like that?
Almost. Yep.
Come on now. So keep putting them in there, keep adding them. So Mama is going to give out all of our prizes at the end. So y'all be ready. Okay. And that Rocking Around the Christmas Tree song was just for Mom, just so y'all know. Okay. All right, we're going to dive in and get started today. And you may be wondering, okay, Coach, it's 1 week before Christmas, which, by the way, let me make that announcement too, just so everybody knows. Okay, the next 2 Mondays are holidays, and we've got a holiday season coming. And so we will not have calls for the next 2 weeks on Monday. Then we will kick off all of 2024, and you guys be ready, okay? All of 2024, we will kick off on Monday, January 8th. So we're going to take 2 weeks here. I want you to spend time with your family and your friends and enjoy every moment of your holidays. And then we will kick our Monday morning call back off on January 8th. All right. If you looked at the email or saw the video that I put out, you're going to see that today we're going to talk about failure. And you may be like, really, Coach, 1 week before Christmas, you want to talk about failure? Yeah, that's what I want to talk about, because here's what I know about you and I and our humanity. As we look back on this year and we look back on our lives, we have a tendency to see the things that we didn't do well, right? And we get focused on the things we didn't do well. If you don't believe me, I want you to think about back when you were growing up in elementary school and you would take a test or you would turn in a paper and maybe you got a 98 on it. All right. But you had 2 big red X's. What was it we focused on more than the 98 we got right? We focused on the 2 we missed. Yes or no? Okay. You and I are our most difficult and challenging critics out there. Okay. That we beat ourselves up more than anyone else does. And so here's what I want to make sure we lean in on today. Every single person on this screen today, you have had a moment of failure this last year. Yes or no? Okay. Some of you are like, Coach, not a moment. All right. Like, I've had a good, consistent run here. Okay. If you're anything like old Dusty, if you would like to, we could spend all day today just listing off our failures. Could we not? Okay. Well, I want to lean in today and teach us, coach us around a growth mindset around failure. Because here's what I can tell you. The biggest moments of growth in your life are going to come around those moments of failure. It's how you and I actually become who we are. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for the moments of failure that led me to where I am today, right? In the moment, they may feel like the worst moments ever. And maybe you're in that moment today. I just want to encourage you and tell you that on the other side of this, as we lean into that pain and we lean into that struggle, I want to remind you what I've told you over and over and over again. There is beauty in becoming. So if you don't hear anything else today, would you write that down? There is beauty in becoming. Now, I'm not saying it's pretty, and I'm not saying it feels good. Okay. I'm just saying that there's beauty in the middle of it if we will lean into it. Okay. I'm going to show you a video as we kick off this morning. I want you to listen to what is said. I want you to take notes on what is said. And then we're going to circle back up and have a conversation of how we get on the other side of this and see the beauty in becoming. All right. Here we go.
Well, growing up, my dad used to encourage my brother and me to fail. So at the dinner table, he would actually ask us, what did you fail at this week? And if we didn't have something to tell him, he would actually be disappointed. And I can remember coming home from school and be like, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible. And he'd be like, way to go, and high five me. And it was such a gift what he was doing. I didn't realize it at the time, but he was redefining failure for me. And so failure became not about the outcome, but about not trying.
One of the things you gotta understand, my friend, is that you're supposed to fail. Because failure is the stepping stone to success. Because failure is an experience that lends to wisdom that ultimately makes you a stronger version of yourself.
You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail. Matter of fact, when you fail, be glad about it. Every time you fail, you're one step closer.
When you're willing to fail again and again and again, when you make up your mind to become unstoppable, when you make up your mind to become a no matter what person, then that will then give birth to a part of yourself that you don't know right now.
Move forward in the direction of your dreams. You've won in that regard. The failure is just a signpost that you're going in the wrong direction.
Next time you encounter failure, you got to remember every great thing on this planet is here because the Creator learned what did work, but learned more from what did not work. When we are kids, we don't stop at failure. When we first learn to ride a bike, it's failure after failure. We get knocked down time after time, but we get up and push forward until we achieve our goal of riding the bike. But then we get old and most of us get weak. We are too soft to get back on the bike. We come up with excuses. It must not be for me. No, you just soft. No, you just lazy. Tell yourself the truth. Get back on the bike. Learn why you fail and make sure you don't fall again. Make sure you are stronger for having the lesson.
Because every time I feel failure, it means that I'm doing something. And then I'm growing in a particular way. And I look at the failure and I say, how can I improve, or am I moving in the wrong direction? If you didn't fail, you would never be able to appreciate success.
Whatever you do when you fail, understand that failure is when you stop and you quit. Failure is when you stop and when you quit. Making an error is when you learn from it and you move on.
Ever tried? Ever failed? No matter. Try again. Fail again. Fail better.
Come on now. What'd you hear? What'd you hear? What'd you learn? What'd you write down? What are you thinking as we start this conversation this morning around our failure? Cherie, go for it.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Failure is when you stop and when you quit. And I've been journaling about two questions lately, and that is, who am I and whose am I? And whose am I means that I belong to something. I get to choose what I belong to. And so understanding failure, and you always say is an event, means that I don't have to belong to that event, but I do have to know who I am in order to step into that next level of learning, of growing and expanding. And that's all I have. Everybody have a great holiday.
Come on. Cherie, you said that word so well. I get to choose where I belong. Did y'all hear that? Y'all need to write that down this morning. Come on now. I choose where I belong. I choose how I respond. I love it. Eve Walker. Come on, Eve.
Hey, Dusty. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Merry Christmas, everyone. So what I heard is, failure is a stepping stone to success. And also when you fail, you're one step closer to succeed. So I really like that.
That's right. When we fail, we're one step closer to succeeding, right? Good to see you, Eve. She's out there.
Oh, good seeing you too.
Yeah, that failure is one step closer to succeeding, right? And Manuela put over here, failure is the stepping stone to success, right? Failure isn't an outcome, it's not trying. Christine Meadows, go for it.
Good morning. What I heard was if you didn't fail, you would never be able to appreciate success.
That's right. Yeah, that was a great comment, right? If we didn't fail, we would never be able to appreciate it. How many of you look at where you are today and have a massive level of appreciation because you know where you came from? Anybody? Okay. I know for a fact there's two people on this call, myself and my bride, who know that really, really well, because we have had deep moments of where we came from to where we are today, right? A lot of times we just look at where people are today and we go, man, look at where they are, and that's where I want to be. And I get that, and I don't disagree. I'm just saying you need to ask them how they got there first, because I can promise you that there is a string of challenge and pain and difficulty and failure along the way, right? I've never interviewed a successful person that said, no, it's just easy. I mean, we're super talented, and we got really lucky and blessed, and everything worked out well for us. Okay. Jackie, you go for it this morning. What do you got?
Good morning. What I heard was you learn from what works and you learn more from what doesn't work. And then he came back a few minutes later and said, learn why you fail.
That's
when
right.
He was talking about the falling off the bicycle, and you can either, leave the bike there and run in the house, or get back on it and learn how to ride it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So everybody write that down. You learn from what works and you learn more from what didn't work, right? We're actually about to do an exercise right here on the call. It's going to help you do exactly that. Let's take another one. Emanuela, what'd you get?
Marvelous Monday. Thank you for the opportunity. Listen, I just saw an image when I was looking at that video, and thank you for that, Dusty, that you usually fail right before you have a breakthrough point, especially if you have, if you do any physical challenges, and of course it translates to mental challenges. When you keep pushing against that ceiling, you fail. You push against that ceiling, you fail. And then something happens, your strength just gets a little bit better enough to break through that level.
That's right.
And so if you're not failing or actively failing, and intentionally failing, like going to the end point of what you think your limit is, physically, mentally, spiritually, and otherwise, you never get through that breaking point.
That's right.
So it's kind of like that edge point. So I saw an imagery of you getting past that ceiling and you just keep bumping your head up against it until at some point you get strong enough, you get hard-headed enough, I guess, to break through that threshold, that breaking point.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's a great way to put it, Manuel. A great way to put it, right? That if we're not pressing towards that breakthrough, right, then we're not experiencing the failure. Rhett wrote it over in the chat box. He said, if they are not, then we're not growing to the extent that we can, and not making enough choices to create the greatest outcome we can in all aspects of our lives. That failure, right, is part of it, that we've got to lean into that space. I can tell you that my bride and I, a big part of our parenting is we allow our kids to totally blow it, right? Like we don't give it all to them, right? Like we allow them to make the choice, right? That's why it's above my head. You make the choice and the choice makes you. And then we go, okay, well, what did you learn? All right. Like we get ready to go somewhere, maybe 30 degrees outside, and we say, all right, everybody grab your coats. And if our kids say, I don't want to grab mine, we go, all right, let's see. Let's see how that works for you. I can promise you the next time they grab their coat. Okay. This time they're going to be a little chilly. You know what I mean? Okay. We're not like, we're not mean. Okay. All right. Let me clarify that. We're just making sure that they understand, right? You make the choice and the choice makes you. We lean into it. You've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again, okay? I I'm going to ask that you voluntarily put yourself into positions where you could fail. Voluntarily put yourself into those difficult situations so that when difficult situations come involuntarily, you are prepared for them. Hey, can I tell you this about failure too? Did you know sometimes you can get it all right and still fail? Yes or no? You ever had that happen? Like, hey, I gave everything I had, and yet I still ended up here. Maybe in a relationship, maybe in a business, okay? And yet, even though we've given everything that we can and done everything right that we possibly can, we still end up in a moment of failure, okay? So here's what I want us to do. And Manuela said this well. She said, we have to release the need to be perfect in order to succeed. Come on now. That's a great comment, right? For all my perfectionists out there, let me just lovingly tell you something. You will never get it all done, and it will never always be right. Okay, I love you. Bless your heart. Okay, I'm one of you. It's just the way that it works. Okay, so here's what I want to do for a second, and this may seem counterproductive, and it's not. It's one of the best exercises that I've ever done, and it's this. I want you to take just a minute. It won't take you long. Okay, because we're human. I want you to write down, if you're able to write something down. If you're driving, I want you just to think about it. I want you to write down right now a failure in your life. It can be in life, it can be in business, it can be in a relationship, maybe it's in parenting, maybe it's in a marriage. Okay, I want you to write down right now one failure that you have had in your lifetime, something that has played enough a profound effect that you're still thinking about it on some level. Okay, go ahead, just take a minute. It won't take you long. Some would be like, oh, I got that. Happened this morning. All right, I just want you to write down one failure. I'll give you about a minute or so to write it down. Be specific in it. What's one failure in your life? Maybe it's in your business, relationship, something where you had the event of failure. Okay, you got it written down? Now, I want to remind you, and you hear me say this all the time, I always call failure an event, right? Okay, and that comes from a season in my own personal life where I had epically failed, right? I had completely walked away from our industry and everything that I'd built, and I was sitting, okay, right? Full disclosure, Dusty here, was sitting in my own self-pity, was not operating well. My bride will tell you this, man, when I have moments of failure, I have this natural tendency that I get lazy. Okay. I feel like I don't want to go again because all I can think about is I failed. I didn't make it. And so I get stuck in quicksand. And you know what I mean by that, right? Like when you get stuck in quicksand, it's like everything you do doesn't seem like you're getting anywhere. All right. I've felt that this year. Okay. And my bride's had to help work me through these seasons of feeling like a failure and just beating how many of you beat yourself up? Anybody? Like nobody has to do it for you, right? Like I can't believe you did that. Okay. So here's what I want to do for a second. I want us to pause for a second. I want you to read the words on that page. And I want you to know this. They're just words on a page. Okay. Failure is an event, not a person. You are not a failure. Have you failed? Yes. Will you fail again? Absolutely. All right. Here's the point. Failure does not define you unless you let it define you. Okay. Like if you want to stay in it, you can. And here's what I can promise you. Eventually you will not like where you are at. Okay. You can stay in it, but eventually you will not like where you're at. And we've got to make sure that we get up and begin to move forward from our failure. Just like he talked about the kid riding the bike, right? Okay. Like my 10-year-olds can ride a bike today. Can I tell you why? Because Mama and I taught them to ride a bike. And can I tell you how many times they fail? On the repeat. All right. We'd go out in our little, back area behind our house, and they would fall to the left and fall to the right, and we'd hang on to their seat, and I'm running along. And then finally, man, they just got it. Why did they get it? Because the failure taught them to balance. The failure taught them how to figure it out. I couldn't actually teach them. They had to fail their way forward in it. So I want you to look at the words on that page, and here's what I'm going to ask you to do, okay? I'm going to ask you to become a third party in your failure. You guys tracking with me on this? Right? And I want you to come up to about a 30,000 foot view. All right? And what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to look down here in a minute on the failure that you just wrote down. And what we're going to do here, I don't know if any of you ever played football growing up. Anybody play football growing up? I did not. Okay? I'm 5'6", 125. I played tennis. All right? When you play football growing up, I grew up in Texas, and in Texas, we have football Friday night. Okay? It's a big deal. Like I grew up in Abilene, Texas. We shut the whole town down on football Friday night. My buddy Ryan Holmes over there, that dude grew up in Merkel, Texas. Merkel, Texas is smaller than Abilene, Texas. The whole world shut down for Merkel, Texas on Friday night. But do you know what they did, all those football players did on Saturday morning after Friday night? Here's what they did. They showed up at the field house early in the morning, and they watched game film. You with me? They watched game film, and here's why they watched game film, Define. They watched game film because what they would do is the coach would come in, and he would hit play on the game film, and it would start to play. And everybody in the room would get nervous, and here's why. Because he was about to pause it when you made a mistake. Yeah. So when you threw an interception, okay, if my boy Ryan over there threw an interception, he would pause it and he'd go, "Hey, Ryan, can you explain to me what you were thinking when you threw the ball to the guy in the other jersey? Where our guy was nowhere to be found. You want to explain that to everybody?" And then he would show the pass in midair, and he would show the guy catch it, and he would show the guy return it for a pick six, and then he would pause it again, and he would rewind it. And he'd say, "Let's look at it again. Look Ryan, what's going through your head?" And in that moment, Ryan would be embarrassed. He would feel guilty. He'd feel terrible. Now, you may think that's a terrible coach. I'm going to tell you that's a great coach. He's not doing it to make him feel bad. Why is he doing it? He's doing it to show him the game film, to teach him what happened, so that next time, next Friday night, when the same thing happens, what can Ryan do? He can do something different than he did the week before. All right, you with me? Here's what I want you to do, just for about 30 seconds. I want you to pull up to a 30,000 foot view on the failure you just wrote down, and I want you to watch the game film. Okay? I want you to take them out. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to go back to that moment. Okay? And I'm not doing it for you to feel bad. I'm doing it for you to grow and for you to learn. I want you to go back to that moment, and I want you to run the game film. What happened? Like, what were all the circumstances before leading up to this moment of failure? I want you to think about for a couple seconds, what could you control in it? Maybe that you didn't control. What did you try to control in it that you couldn't control to begin with? Okay, and I want you to take a hard look at what you could have done different. I just want you to run the game film. Okay, how'd you get here? What could you control? What could you not control? All right, what could you have done different? And then the biggest question I want you to ask yourself is this: what can I learn? What can I learn? You heard it early on the video. There's only one thing that is failure, and that is that we quit. Right? That's it. That's the only way that we actually fail. And I'll tell you this, I even think that's redeemable. Yes or no? Okay? Like, I full on quit. Mom will tell you, I became a title rep for like a month, like a hot minute. Okay? Because I felt like a failure. I let everybody down. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to show my face. Okay? And thankfully, I had a bride who sat me down on a couch one day and said, I love you. Get up. That's it. You got to learn from, hey, this isn't going to work. You got to get up. I had another mentor in my life that literally sat me down and said, Dusty, failure is an event. It's not a person. Get up and go to work. That's how I became a bold coach. Literally became a bold coach out of my failures, not out of my successes. You with me on this? Can I tell you the bulk of everything we coach and define comes from where we've blown it, not from where we've gotten it right? Okay? So I want you to look at these things, the failures in your life. I want you to call them what they are. Man, hey, you made a mistake. Maybe it's a big one. Like maybe you blew it. All right? Here's what I believe. When we learn from it, it's redeemable. When we learn from it, there's beauty on the other side of it, right? There's beauty in becoming. Here's the next thing I want to ask you for a minute. I want you to think right now. I want you to go back to that space where you failed. Okay, so whatever failure you just wrote down, here's what I want you to do. Just real quick, I want you to close your eyes for about 30 seconds. And I want you to think of how you spoke to yourself in the middle of that failure. Okay? Go ahead. I want you to think about it. Like, go ahead. Tell yourself how dumb you were. How stupid that was. How could you possibly do something like that? Go ahead. Tell yourself. Let yourself have it. That's what we're good at. I'm good at it. How's that feel? Everybody feeling good? Yeah. You're like, oh, coach, thanks so much for the call the week before Christmas, right? Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to leave you there, okay? I'm not going to leave you there because what you and I do, our human nature, is we fail and we beat ourselves up about it. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do this with me. I want you to close your eyes one more time. This time, I want you to imagine that whatever failure, whatever the event was, I want you to think of it as somebody in your life that you love more than anybody was the one who did what you did. Okay, can you do that for me? I want you to replace you with someone that you desperately love, with your spouse, with your kids. I want you to replace you with them. You got it? Okay, now I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine that they did what you did. And I would like for you to talk to them the same way that you just talked to yourself.
I'm trying to figure. I guess I wander around.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Sorry. You're good.
There we go. I want you to talk to them the same way that you just talked to yourself. Go ahead, tell them how dumb they are. How stupid that move was. How's that feel? Not good, right? Let me ask you this. Would you ever talk to anybody else the way you talk to you? I can't imagine talking to my kids the way that I've talked to myself sometimes. I can't imagine talking to my bride the way that I've talked to myself sometimes, how I've beat myself up repeatedly over my past mistakes, okay? So here's my point, team, all right? You are not a failure. This does not define you. How you respond to it is how it defines you. How you take those moment of failures and how you respond to them, that's what defines you, right? You've heard Rocky Balboa say, it's not how hard you get hit. It's how many times you what? You get back up, right? It's not how hard you get hit. It's how many times you get back up. Let me give you the best example that I've got. If you've ever been in a room with me before, you've heard me talk about this because I think this is the way that we've got to really understand and look at failure. Has anybody on the screen ever been around a baby learning how to walk or been a baby learning how to walk? Anybody? Okay. That should cover everybody. All right. That should cover everybody. You've either been around a baby learning how to walk or you have been a baby learning how to walk. Okay. And so I want to walk you through what it's like when a little kid learns how to walk, okay? Because regardless of who we are on the screen, I want you to know there was a time that you looked just like I'm about to look on this screen, okay? So when a little kid begins to learn to walk, here's what happens. Number one, the energy in the house is just different. Like you can feel it. It's been brewing for a while, you know, right? Like how many of you got little kids or you got grandkids or something? Like, you know, man, it's been coming. And today's the day, right? Today's the day Dusty's gonna walk. We can feel it, right? You pull out your cameras, grandma, grandpa are there, okay? And here's what happens. We have this serious problem when we are little kids, when we're babies. And that serious problem is our head is so big and our body is so little, okay? Right? Like, I'm telling you, man, like our heads are just huge when we're babies and our bodies have not caught up yet to that big old head up there. Okay. Mama knows what I'm talking about. Like we got two beautiful kids. Let me tell you, there was a season when they were just head walking around like everywhere they went. They're just head in this tiny little body. Okay. And so what happens when a baby learns how to walk is this. They pull up on something. Okay. And they look like this. Y'all, they look like this. Right? Yes or no? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is what they look like. They're doing everything they can to get balanced. Does this seem familiar? Okay. They're holding on to something. They got their mouth wide open. Their eyes are wide open. They're bobbing on something. And then they let go of whatever's holding them firm. And the problem is their head keeps doing this because it's so big. Okay. Now, here's the deal. That head has to go somewhere. Okay. So that bobblehead starts to fall forward. It has to. It's huge. Okay. You don't have the muscle yet to hold that bad boy up. So as it starts to fall forward, guess what you do? The little baby throws out a foot, okay? Still with the head bobble. And then they throw out another foot. And then what happened to all of us on the screen and to every little child on the planet when they were learning how to walk? What happened after one or two steps? They bit it. That's what happened, okay? They face planted. You just hoped you were on carpet or grass, okay? That's what happened. Now, you tell me, what kind of father would I have been to my son or my daughter when they fail and I walk up to them and stand over them and go, you got to be kidding me. That's the best you got? That's the best you got? We're Oglesby's. Get up. Like, figure this out, right? Like, man, I don't do that when my kids fall. Are you with me? Like, I'm going to come in beside them. And what do we do when a little baby takes one or two steps? What do we do, everybody? We go nuts, right? I mean, we video it. We put it on Facebook. Look, they walk. They're amazing. They're the most amazing children on the planet. They're so amazing. They're 5 and they learned how to walk, right? Like, we think they're more incredible than anybody, okay? Here's what we do. We celebrate the steps. We don't get focused on the failure. Can I tell you that's polar opposite to what you and I do in our own lives? We don't celebrate the steps. Okay? We focus on the failure. We hit the ground and go, you got to be kidding me, man. You haven't figured out how to do this yet? This is the mistake that you made? Okay? And we beat ourselves up over it. And here's what I want to coach you and teach you to today, all right? I want you to celebrate the steps. As you look back on 2023, yes, you're going to have moments of failure. I'm going to ask that you celebrate the steps. I'm going to ask that you celebrate. Look, hey, yeah, we did go down pretty hard this summer. We did go down pretty hard in the last 30 days. But here's what I know. We did not quit. We got back up, right? And I want to encourage every single one of you on the call today, all right? I'm proud of you because you took steps this year. As we go into 2024, I want you to get focused on the steps, understanding that you're going to miss a step, understanding that you may fall flat on your face, all right? But all of that is used, right, to create in us the faith and the trust and the perseverance to move into the next season for us, that there's that beauty in becoming, okay? So I want you to write down a couple things real quick. Would you write down these words, even though? Would you write down those words, even though? And then would you write down these words, I will? Even though, okay? And then I want you to write down below that or somewhere over around it the words, I will. Okay? Here's what I want to plead with you to do as you finish this year and go into next year. I want to teach you before we get off the call what's called an even though I will kind of faith. All right? And an even though I will kind of faith says this, hey, even though it doesn't look good for me today, I will not quit. Even though my finances are not where I desire for them to be, I will get up today and go create more. Even though, right, I completely failed yesterday, I will start over today. So I want you right now to write down something in those blanks. Even though, and I want you to fill in the blank. And then I want you to write down, what are you going to do about it? I will. Okay? There's a book out called Shift. Gary Keller wrote it, and he gives 12 tactics of how we are to face difficult times. So whether you're in real estate or you're not, here's what Gary Keller says. He says, get real, get right. That's the first tactic. Get real, get right. And what he's saying is, get real with the hand that you've been dealt. Get real, get honest with the situation at hand. Get right means, now what are you going to do about it? Okay? What action step are you going to take? What are you going to do about it? All right. So even though I will, even though I will, I want you to write that down. This is going to be your journal this morning, and then we'll come back, report out, and then Mama's going to give out some prizes. Okay. Here we go. We're going to do one song for you here. I want you to journal around this. Even though I will, the even though I will type of faith. Here we go. Take a few minutes and journal this morning. Here we go.
They say sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And right now I'm losing bad. I've stood on this stage night after night, reminding the broken it'll be alright. But right now, oh, right now I just can't. It's easy to sing when there's nothing to bring me down. But what will I say when I'm held to the flame like I am right now? I know you're able and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is you alone. They say it only takes a little faith to move a mountain. Well, good thing a little faith is all I have right now. God, when you choose to leave mountains unmovable, oh, give me the strength to be able to sing. It is well with my soul. I know you're able and I know you can save through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is you alone. I know the sorrow and I know the hurt would all go away if you just say the word. But even if you don't, my hope is you alone. You've been faithful, you've been good all of my days. Jesus, I will cling heart made, 'cause I know you're able. I know you care. I know you're able, and I know you care. See through the fire with your mighty hand. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. I know the sorrow, I know the hurt would all go away if you just say the word. But even if you don't, my hope is in you alone. It is well with my soul.
Hey, bud.
It is
I
well.
got your
It is well
waffle.
with
You come
my
eat breakfast.
soul.
Come on now, right? Even though I will, every one of us on the screen, we're going to have moments of failure as we go into 2024. I want to remind you, okay? I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. You are not just a conqueror. You're more than a conqueror. Even though this is the hand I'm dealt, even though this is maybe how I feel, even though this is what happened, I will, in faith, move past my failures and learn from them, okay? I trust that's been helpful to you today. Hey, a few things before we jump off. First and foremost, Mama, you wanna let everybody know who won our contest? What do we got? Showtime. Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Sorry, I'm choking on my pretzels. Yeah, so thanks guys so much for adding to the page. I mean, everybody that gets added is just, you know, one more person that gets to be on the call on Mondays. So we super appreciate you guys doing that. And at this time of year, who couldn't use an extra $250 to Amazon, right? So so the winner of the 250 is Hannah Holmes. And
Hannah!
I don't think she's on the call.
I don't think she's on the call. We'll get with Hannah. I went to high school with Hannah. Come on now.
And Hannah added 900 people to the page. So yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
She worked it. Yeah, she added 900 people. And then the second winner who won the one-on-one coaching with Dusty and I was Brittany Huffstetler. And she added 872 people. So it was really close.
Goodness. That's
And can we just note here really quickly, because I know we only have 2 minutes. Can I tell you what it's like going through and like counting all of these one by one? It's a lot of work. Okay. It's a lot. And then third place, and she was on the call. Is she still on the call? She's here, but her camera's off. Goes to Shayla. And
Shayla.
So super, yay, Shayla. Thank you, Shayla. And so Shayla got the third place, which is the ticket to the Define 24, which we're having January 8th through the 12th, and that's the 5-day. It's 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day, from 10 to 11. So thank you guys so much. Like, we just appreciate you guys continuing to help grow the community, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Super.
And happy Hanukkah, everything. So
all of them. Have a blessed holiday, team. Yes, a reminder, we do have January 8th through the 12th coming up. Make sure you get in there on that. We'll remind all of you, but we do have Define 24 to make sure that you define your 2024. All right. This is your life, your business, your family, your future, your legacy. You're the ones who define it. Team, I want you to know we love you. We're so thankful for you. Thank you for the gift and honor to allow my bride and I to walk alongside you each and every single week. I want to give a huge thank you also to Felicia Carter. She's on here every week early. and helping Elle and I make sure that everything runs the way that it's supposed to. And so thank you for all you are. Bless you guys. We trust that you will have an incredible holiday season. Stay safe, stay faithful, lean in, and we are going to kick this back off on January 8th. So get ready. We're going to come in hot on January 8th because we're going to get some rest around the Oglesby house. All right. We're going to come in hot on January 8th. I may even see if my kids can be on. How about that, Mama? Let's see if the kids be on. They don't know that yet. My daughter will implode. We put her on screen. My son will get all excited. So, hey, we love you. Bless you. Thank you guys. Have an incredible holiday season. Bless you. If we can do anything for you, please reach out. We love you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holiday, Merry Christmas.
Yes, yes, yes. Take care, guys.
Happy
Bless you guys.
holidays.
We love you. Happy holidays. Enjoy every minute. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Take care.
Take care. Bless you
Bye-bye.
guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice.